Bootcamp RimZim Gire Saawan Bootcamp, and today we are going to look at the contra melody. So before we get into contra melody, just have a chat about that a little bit. So इसकी जो शुरुआत हुई थी, the whole beginning of contra melody thing in the industry is around 50s or 60s, or it was a revolution. So मैंने पूछा revolution का meaning, and then I'll read out what Google Baba gave me. It's a fundamental and often violent overthrow of establishment, etc., etc. It was fundamental, but being music, it was not violent at all. तो क्या हुआ? So it all began 50s and 60s when Goa was getting freed, to be precise 1961. And needless to say, Goa is full of talent. Just to give some names: Mangeshkar family, Jitendra Abhisheki, Baki Bab Borkar, Mogubai Kurdikar, Kishori Amankar, Tulsidas Borkar, Khapru Mama Parvatkar, and I'm just only scratching the list. It's like by no means complete. There are like scores and scores of other people, but I think I made the point. So right around that time, a steady stream of supremely talented artists started coming to what was called Bombay then, which is what we call Mumbai. ये लोग जो थे, they were fully trained in Western music. So contra melody and all those things were known to them. They could read and write sheet music. They knew chord progression. नए instruments से violin, viola, cello, trumpet, piano, accordion, everything that they knew. And then they started playing in Mumbai's posh hotels like Taj and other things. Obviously, the industry took notice, and they all got into the industry, but the name Bollywood was not coined that time. तो हम लोग आज भी सुनते हैं, people talk about fusion music all the time, and many people are doing very good experiments today. Some people quote unquote call it confusion music, some people call it fusion music, whatever. These trailblazers, they did not use the words like fusion, but they were doing it. They never thought they were doing something unique, but they were doing something unique. And just like sugar dissolves in milk, these guys just dissolved and gave a totally different feel to the industry. तो पहले क्या था? If you look at if you look at song, or if you listen to songs that are 50s, 55ish or before, around that time, you will between those two you will see a huge difference. पहले क्या था? Of course there was a rhythm section, tabla, dholak, sur section, harmonium, sarangi, basuri, and singers. And the music meant following the song, okay. And interlude का meaning होता था repeat the line, okay. This is exactly how Natya Sangeet was accompanied like that, and of course classical music. And don't get me wrong, it's perfectly appropriate thing to do in Natya Sangeet. It's perfectly appropriate thing to do in classical, but not in the in the Bollywood. So what these guys did was, Bollywood, they brought in this concept of contra melody. So what is contra melody? So it's a piece of music seemingly unrelated, but it's related in a sense that you don't follow the line, and it plays in the background, and then it's not exactly the line following. In fact, it's not at all the line following. And then it's what the way I put it is, its absence is felt, but presence is not felt. अगर contra melody remove की जाए, then you will all start saying that, hey, this song sounds hollow, empty, कुछ नहीं है इसमें. because the contra melody is taken out. And if the contra melody is present, then you feel much better, but you really cannot pinpoint it unless you specifically listen for that. So much for my lecture today, but I thought it was important because this is a topic near and dear to my heart, because these musicians really made a huge difference. Anthony Gonsalves, for example, right? Datar, there are many others. Anthony Gonsalves is of course, being his name was being used in that Bollywood song that we all know. But all these people from Goa were, and I'm not specifically saying Goa. There are some from Bengal as well, but majority of them were from Goa. That's why I mentioned Goa. But in any case, तो क्या करेंगे आज? So as part of what we are doing right now, I want you to listen to this contra melody piece. The contra melody piece will keep on happening in the background, and karaoke is the best mechanism to listen to that, as long as the track is good, and of course Chauhan Saab's tracks are really good. You can also do that during the song, but then you have to train your ears not to listen to the singers and concentrate on the background. It's not too hard to do, but it requires a little bit of little bit of effort to do that, but it's really fun. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'm going to bring in the song, and then RimZim Gire Saawan, and then we'll play it a couple of times. You will listen to the contra melody. Here is the song. So I hope you got to listen to the contra melody pieces. They keep on going all the time. The volume of obviously is much less for contra melody because it's supposed to be in background. As soon as the interludes begin, volume बढ़ता है because then in olden days, of course, there was no the entire song had to be done from start to finish. No track recording was there, so the musicians played, they controlled their volume. So this is an art that's kind of not kind of getting extinct now because of the track recording and everything that can be adjusted by the recordist. लेकिन वहाँ पे वो लोग वॉल्यूम खुद का एडजस्ट कर लेते थे. मोस्ट ऑफ द background pieces are played typically in contra melody by a set of violinists. By a set, I mean 40, 50, something like that. It's a really, really large number, and they create this particular effect that you see or you hear with so many violins in the background. Sometimes there are other instruments added as well, like cello or viola, but most of the times it's violin. ठीक है. So today we will listen to this whole thing once again, second time, and then we'll finish this episode. And tomorrow we will talk about tal counting. But right now, let's listen to the same track one more time. I think I lost the track. Where is it? Okay, here it is. All right, so that was great. We looked at contra melody today. We will continue this song through the week, and at the end of the week, on the fifth day, you will sing it 3 times in a row. Meanwhile, continue singing. I'll guarantee you that end of that week, 1 week, you will be really, really good at this song by then.